Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yoon Jung-min. Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in North Korea early this morning for his first state visit to the regime in 24 years. He and his North Korean counterpart, Kim Jong-un, sat down for talks on establishing long-term relations. For more, we have our correspondent Choi Min-jung connecting live with us. Min-jung, Putin's two-day trip was cut short due to his late arrival, but he did receive a welcome unusually early in the morning. Tell us more.
Right, Jung-min, Putin arrived in North Korea early Wednesday morning at around 2:45 a.m. to a red carpet. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un greeted the Russian leader with smiles, handshakes, and hugs. Now, the arrival was a rather rare scene as Kim welcomed Putin by himself, not accompanied by his officials, and what was supposed to be an arrival ceremony ended in 5 minutes. This perhaps was due to Putin's much later than expected arrival. But the streets were decorated with portraits of Putin and Russian flags, and at around noon, a grand welcoming ceremony took place at Kim Il-sung Square in Pyongyang. A large crowd was out on the streets to welcome the two leaders with balloons in the air and people waving flowers.
And after the ceremony, the two leaders sat down for a summit. What were the key takeaways?
Right, the talks went on for over an hour and a half at Kumsusan Palace, and Putin appreciated North Korea's consistent and unwavering support for Russian policy, including on Ukraine. And Kim expressed the regime's full support and solidarity with Russia in conducting military operations in Ukraine.
North Korea expresses full support for the Russian government's special military operation in Ukraine to protect its sovereignty, interests, and the stability of its territory.
The two also discussed ways to strengthen their bilateral ties. Putin mentioned a new fundamental document.
Last year, as a result of your visit to Russia, we made significant progress in building up our relations. Today, a new fundamental document has been prepared that will outline the basis of our relationship over the long term.
Kim noted that relations between Russia and North Korea are entering a new period of prosperity and emphasized that the regime intends to strengthen strategic cooperation with Russia. He also praised Russia's role in maintaining strategic stability globally. The talks came as the two sides are facing intensifying confrontations with the U.S. The Russian leader addressed the decades-long struggle against U.S. imperialist policy towards Russia during the talks as well. Putin also expressed intentions to meet Kim again, saying he hopes the next meeting with Kim will be held in the Russian capital.
And Min-jung, we hear Kim and Putin signed a comprehensive strategic partnership agreement as well.
That's right, Jung-min. The two leaders agreed to elevate their relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership. The agreement will replace the documents that were signed in 1961 and 2000. Prior to the summit, Russia had said that the partnership would outline future cooperation and deal with security issues. And so the question is whether this will involve further military cooperation between North Korea and Russia. Pyongyang and Moscow have already been strengthening military cooperation since Kim visited Putin in Russia last September. And since then, the two sides have been heavily criticized by South Korea and the international community for an apparent arms transfer violating UN Security Council resolutions. This is all I have for now, but I'll be back with more updates in our later newscast. Jung-min.
All right, thanks, Min-jung, for filling us in.